Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Oh my gosh, guys, the notification went out after hundreds of people were swept away by floodwaters. Good morning. Today we address the tragedy and the system failures during the July 4th flash floods in Kerr County, Texas. Over 95 residents died, many without timely warnings, raising urgent questions about the emergency preparedness. Central Texas weather, fed by remnants of tropical systems, dropped over 20 inches of water within days in a region known for flash floods. The Guadalupe River surged nearly 30 feet in under an hour, washing away homes, vehicles, and summer camps. At 4:22 a.m., firefighters notified dispatchers of rising water and requested a CodeRED emergency alert. The dispatcher replied, "Stand by, we need supervisor approval." The message was delayed. Some residents didn't even receive the alert until 10 a.m. During that 6-hour window, flash floods had already claimed dozens of lives. Kerr County has issued CodeRED since 2009 and integrated FEMA's IPAWS in 2021, but officials often rely on informal river calling between camps. Flood warning system proposals have been discussed since 2016 without action. Opponents feared siren noise and cost. The floods in central Texas have claimed at least 119 lives statewide. 95 of those individuals are in Kerr County, including children and camp counselors. Rescue efforts continue with hundreds missing and a grim scene of overturned vehicles and debris lining riverbanks. Local officials promise after action review. The legislature will convene to improve emergency alert systems, but for the grieving families, the question remains: why wait so long to warn people about deadly floods? This tragedy illustrates how inadequate emergency systems and delayed decisions can cost lives. As we honor the victims and support survivors, we must demand swift improvements, automated alert sirens, community education to ensure this never happens again. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bookmark this so you can come back to it. God bless. This is a difficult story to tell, not because of the devastation or the heartbreak, though there is plenty of both, but because of what it says about us as people. Over the past week, Central Texas has been underwater. Flash floods have ravaged communities, washed away homes, tearing apart families, and stealing lives that should have never been taken so soon. Among the victims were children. Beautiful, bright, innocent children. The Baker family lost all 3 kids. Zane, 9, Wyatt, 6, Emery, only 4 years old. They were swept away while trying to escape rising waters during a church gathering. These were children who made crafts in Sunday school, who laughed and played barefoot in the grass, who called their parents mommy and daddy with all the trust in the world. They are all gone. And yet, in the midst of this unbearable loss, something vile has crept into our collective conversations. Hatred. Disgusting, inhumane, senseless hatred. One pediatric physician from Texas, a healer, a person sworn to protect children, publicly mocked because they were Trump supporters or their family may have voted for Trump. A pastor's wife, a person of supposed faith, shared similar sentiments online, suggesting that these children represented privilege and colonialism. These were babies. When did our hearts turn to stone? We can debate politics. We can talk about policies and platforms. But when a child drowns in the arms of her parents, when siblings die clinging to one another in the dark, cold waters of Texas floods, we don't point the finger. We don't check skin color. We don't justify tragedy with ideology. We weep. We hold each other. We show up with casseroles, blankets, and love, or at least we used to. This isn't about left or right. It's not about race or religion. It's about humanity. If we cannot cry for these children, if we cannot offer grace to grieving parents, if we cannot look at a casket and feel something sacred, then we are already lost. So I ask you now, wherever you are, take a moment, not just to hear their names, but to hold them in your heart. And let's be a little kinder Children, not symbols, not statements, not political pawns. Children. Let us not become so poisoned by our ideologies that we forget how to love. Let us not let outrage win over empathy. Let us not scroll past suffering like it's a background noise. To those who spew hate at the dead, I ask, what happened to you? And to the rest of us, I say, this is the moment to rise. This is the moment to reclaim compassion and to bring back our humanity. Floods can wash away homes, but they shouldn't wash away our souls. If you want to help, go find a family who's hurting. Pray for them. Donate if you can. Share their story with love. Be the light in all of this darkness. Because right now, the people of Central Texas don't just need water to recede. They need the flood waters of hate to end too. Let love be louder, and let's bring humanity back to America and love into our hearts. God bless. Well, good morning, my beautiful people. Let me move this mic back just a little bit. It just dropped my second screen, so give me a second while I get everything one little move, one wrong move causes us problems. So anyways, we're back up and running. We've been covering the case kind of as part of other conversation topics related to the flood victims. We're true crime. Is there true crime here? Not really, but kind of, sort of. It is a national it's a national case that people are paying attention to. There's a lot of beautiful faces, loss of life related to the floods in Central Texas. And many of us are just trying to figure out what happened. How did this happen? This is an area known for flash floods. How were these people not notified in enough time to get that? This is stuff that they've been training for their entire life, because this is the area that they're in. Okay. So how did this happen? And yesterday we did start peeking under the hood related to the possibilities of what it could be that caused such a problem. And one of the major things that are talking points right now is this weather manipulation, because everybody's telling us that cloud seeding will not produce the type of water that was seen or observed out here in Texas. But we have evidence that there was cloud seeding. And so that kind of put me into this rabbit hole of trying to understand weather manipulation, because to be honest with you, up until about 48 hours ago, I thought it was just talking points. I never thought that there would be anything that could remotely modify our weather. And you can call me naive and ignorant and everything else. I can agree with those talking points. I am ignorant and naive when it comes to something like weather manipulation. But I also think that it's something that many of us don't understand. And it's really upsetting to know that this has been something that we've been studying for the last 75 years. We actually have policies, treaties, and other worldwide documents that we enter into, making sure that other countries do not manipulate the weather too. We're not the only one doing studies. We have multiple companies, including Russia, China, the EU, all investigating and working on this weather manipulation as wartime. They used it back in Vietnam. That's how long this stuff has been going on. And here we are, the American citizens, where our government works for us, and we're none the wiser about this potential weather manipulation until a whole bunch of children lose their life in Texas. And now we are getting up to date on what in the world, is this a real thing? Well, every report I'm receiving is saying no, it's not. But when you ask very straight and specific questions, you find out there is a litany of classified bullshit that our government is covering up and not allowing the public to know about, including weather manipulation. It is real. It is real. And that's what is so frustrating for me. because in all of this realness, let's go over a few factors, because I think this is so important that I'm hijacking the Bullhorn Betty channel, the true crime channel, to talk about this very important public service information that we all need to be up to snuff on. Because it's this right here that gives me pause. Let's look at all this. What is this? Let's look at all the catastrophic floods in the last 5 days. Texas, catastrophic flooding in central Texas. Over 100 deaths along Guadalupe River, July 4th to July 7th. North Carolina, flooding reported with high rising rapidly July 7th through July 9th. New Mexico. Now you're talking about several different sides of our country here. Several different sides dealing with the same exact type of systems. New Mexico, severe flooding, rapid water rise, July 8th to 9th. Arkansas, devastating floods with significant impact on small towns, July 8th and 9th. Oklahoma, unexpected flooding recorded July 8th, July 9th. Illinois, flooding in Chicago and other areas, July 8th, July 9th. Massachusetts, flooding reported as part of widespread weather events, July 8th to July 9th. Virginia, flooding with rapid water rises, July 8th to July 9th. Rhode Island, flooding as part of border northeast impacts, July 8th, July 9th. Connecticut, flooding observed included in storm reports, July 8th, July 9th. Iowa, flooding mentioned in storm reports, July 8th, July 9th. Maryland, flooding noted in storm reports, July 8th, July 9th. Wisconsin, flooding reported in storms, July 8th, July 9th. How many more are coming? How many more are coming? How many more coming? So good morning, Melanie. It's nice to see you. Sonia, good morning. Lisa B. Always. Dawn, it's me, Jen. Good morning, my love. Bullhorn Betty is present, and look at that. Jing-a-ling-a-ling. I would say we got some bill money, but it's no longer bill money. We got some attorney money. We got some attorney money. What's that guy on TikTok? The left lane is for the people with ticket money. If you don't have ticket money, stay out of the left lane. Libby, it's nice to see you. Good morning, my love. Melanie, good morning. Good morning. Mama for the missing children. Good morning. Melanie, thank you for the beautiful prayers to the people affected by the flood. God bless you. Blood of Christ. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Blood of Christ. Okay, Sharon, it's nice to see you. Good morning. Kathleen, Gigi for Life is up in the house. Good morning. Good morning. Sharon, I think I said hi to you, but if I didn't, no ifs, ands, or you know. Allegedly happened 2 years ago on Maui. Alarm sirens not on. Wow. Makes you wonder. I don't trust our government. So if we're all hooked into the government stuff and this still has failures, it makes you wonder why. Sorry, not sorry. Lady for Justice, thank you. Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, I have a little surprise for all of you for this weekend. It is going to affect our production of the Bullhorn Betty channel. So you guys may want to stick around. If you guys may be surprised. We'll find out if you guys are going to be in the know or if you guys are going to be surprised first thing in the morning of where I'm at. So it's nice to see you, the real me too, up in the house. Good morning, Faye. Good morning. It's nice to see you, Panda Bear's mom. Hey, 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 hey. Maritza, it's nice to see you, my love. Good morning. Who else do we have? We have little orange man up in the house. Good morning, Heather. I hope you're doing well. Frank, good morning. It's nice to see you, my love. Who else do we have? My scrolling's not going as quickly as it usually goes, so bear with me. Whispering Winds, it's nice to see you. Let me put these beautiful baby faces back up. I think they need to be honored, so you guys know me. Unicorn, Indiana, it's nice to see you. Good morning, my love, my love, my love. Common Sense has graced us with her presence. We all have a little dose of it. Let's use it, me and you. It's nice to see you. Who else do we have in here? If I missed you, good morning, Teresa. Or Trust the Process. I see you, and I know that there's probably a Teresa because I just said Teresa. So there's a Teresa out there watching that didn't put a comment in the chat. Well, I'm being told to say hi to you as well. So, as you guys can see, I did kind of dive into a quite of a little bit of a rabbit hole. But when it comes to politics, when it comes to our country, and when it comes to our safety, I don't trust our government. I trust myself. Okay. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel about it. It doesn't mean I'm right or accurate 100% of the time, but I definitely am going to drive my audience, the people I give a shit about, with the right information. Right. We know that mainstream media, as well as our government, does not care about us. This right here has really bothered me because I've been seeing these floods, and I've been thinking for several years, I've quietly, because I've thought that there's no possibility of this. Certain floods that happened at certain times when things were going on politically, I've paid attention to those, and I've thought it was me just out there. Right. So I keep those things to myself because, you think about some crazy stuff. Okay. Our brains, we don't control our brains. Our brains control us. I just want to remind everybody that. Okay. So if you think of something impure, it's not your fault. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Betty, they do see the clouds here, but they always announce it beforehand. Well, but see, this is the thing. It's not about the cloud seeding. I believe the companies that cloud seed do it within the regulations. Okay, so I want to make sure that I'm very clear on whatever these events that are going on. I don't believe it's the people that are doing these things that are causing these things. I want to be very clear. I think there's something more going on here. Cloud seeding in and of itself, by itself, is not enough to produce those floods. I absolutely am convinced of that. I don't think cloud seeding itself, I think cloud seeding in the conversation had us look under the hood a little more, but cloud seeding in and of itself, from everything that I've researched, could not produce the type of water we've got here. We're talking about something much larger. We're talking about something that's unknown to us. We're talking about a major classified program here. Okay. Now, I've been doing politics a hell of a lot longer than I've been doing true crime. And I can tell you, I can smell a classified operation a mile away. The reason why I haven't smelt this one is I didn't know it exists. But when I start doing my research and I start seeing certain things in that research, much like with our true crime, I know what the hell I'm looking at. And I know what the hell I'm looking at here. And and I'm looking at these right here. And I'll be damned if these beautiful faces are going to be any type of political pawn for this country or any other country. But this idea that this weather manipulation is sci-fi, it absolutely isn't. When we learn that they are using and implementing weather manipulation all the way back in Vietnam, we have to use our common sense and think that that program has advanced majorly since those times. And yet we had no earthly idea. Some people that follow history knew about Operation Popeye. I myself was unaware. I did not know until yesterday that all this stuff existed, including a 1996 document that I reviewed related to our Air Force about how to control the weather by 2025. And that was authored in 1996. And what year are we in? And what floods have we had just ravage our entire country? Don't give me this shit that we are conspiracy theorists at this point. It is just the opposite. We have been duped once again by our federal government, the people we pay to keep us informed. I don't have time for this because of this right here. Now, we did learn, some of the details that happened out here. Okay, what truly happened? So, what we're seeing here is we're seeing the. Let me get situated here so I can talk about it. There we go. So, what we're seeing here is this is kind of where the rainfall started. It started kind of back here. And so the people back here started informing the people way over here that there's floodwaters rising. But the people way over here, as you can see, Kerr County, oops, sorry, this way. Kerr County is that way. All the way to the end is Kerr County. Now, they had notification an hour and a half before the first floodwaters swept into their community, enough time to get somebody down to those camps and save lives. That notification took over 90 minutes to be released, and by that time, these floodwaters here had rose 20 feet in a matter of minutes. And all of that's just swooshing, and going up to Kerr County, which is right here. Okay? So we have all this water coming in, and it's like a tidal wave by the time it gets there. A tidal wave. And it took everything in its path with it. Everything. And I think it would be ignorant of us not to try to find what happened here. And I knew that Kerr County made critical mistakes that cost lives because they failed to answer whether there was an alert sent out. They would literally argue with people not to answer that question. It's a yes or no question. Was an alert sent out? Was it not? Yes or no? There's no explanation. Yes or no? And they wanted to hijack that press conference for 10 minutes, shaming people for wanting to know the truth. And if anybody knows about me, I don't like that type of politicking, okay? You work for the people. They put you in office so they are not blindsided. And the people they hired are blindsiding them. Not cool. Not cool. Thank you, ABC, for digging. This right here is courtesy of mainstream media, ABC News. They dug and dug and dug until they got the audios. And the audios clearly show reports were provided to Kerr County. Kerr County told them that they have to have approval to save lives. They need a supervisor's approval to save lives in their county. Where was the effing supervisor? And why did it take 90 minutes? 90 minutes. By the time that was released, tens of 20s of people already dead. Mystic probably was already swept away by the time that notification came. I do believe I want to put this caveat on here, guys, okay? We as human beings make mistakes. We talk about it on this show all the time, even with our law enforcement. We beg and pray that the mistakes they make aren't the result of this. Okay? We want to make sure that if they do make mistakes, that it's not something that's going to harm a case or harm another individual. In this case, this mistake cost lives. Hundreds of lives. We're at 95 now, just in Kerr County. They are the bulk of the death toll. The bulk. And I feel bad because whoever dropped the ball is going to have to deal with this weight on their heart for the rest of their lives. They're going to have to look at these beautiful faces for the rest of their lives and know that their mistake cost all these beautiful babies their life. That's a heavy weight for somebody that just loves their job and made a mistake. But that's what we're dealing with here. So what is the resolution to this? Well, at the end of the day, whether somebody unintentionally made a mistake, the mistake cost lives. And people have to lose their job because of it. There's no way around it. People must lose their job. Whoever was the responsible party for notification and they failed at their job, usually I wouldn't be calling for somebody's resignation or for them to be fired. But in a situation like this, we understand that mistakes happen. But at the end of the day, loss of life is real. And there's a lot of suffering because of this mistake. And it's unfortunate that this mistake caused so much damage. But somebody has to lose their job as a result of this mistake. And I feel bad because I feel like it's somebody that really cares about their community, that, you know, probably is taking this very personally and very hard. And then to have to deal with also losing their job. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. But unfortunately, that's how this stuff works. And, you know, I'm really sorry, but somebody, I think more than one, is it needs to be terminated. Okay. 90 minutes is a long time to wait, and people were already washing away. I want you guys to have an opportunity to review what I'm talking about here. Okay, let me put this up on the big screen.
Okay. And then when it gets here, I saw you walking over here, and then you're over here, and then they start yelling, get out.
Y'all let me know if I'm in anybody's way.
There's the debris and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, here comes the debris.
Get the video. It didn't turn red.
It'll be black. It was black. Oh,
Yeah.
not on video.
Up, here it comes.
Okay, yeah, aim it and hit the red button. Oh, yeah, here it comes. Jinx me. Jinxing me.
Lori, stay out of my way. Okay, well, somebody's in my... Okay, I'm gonna get through, y'all.
Okay.
You better go behind me.
I'm trying to duck. I'm trying to duck. I'm trying to duck.
See your hair.
Sorry, guys, they do talk. This is the video I was talking to you guys about yesterday, where they're just perched up, waiting for the flood to come through. And as you see, the water is already starting to
Terry goes, where at?
are already starting to increase. You can start seeing it increase. I wish I had. Maybe I'll make this into a portrait. Excuse me, a landscaped version, just focused on the water, so you guys can see it a little better.
The over parking. Yes, I sent him here. I said, here it comes.
So as the water is building up, it's just now starting to trickle down that. And then you're going to start seeing more and more and more, and then the water is just raging. So you can see debris. Look at that black spot in the right corner, bottom corner of the video, just floating. Look at all that water now just starting to pour in.
And that's why we hollered at you.
Let me take this thing off. Sorry, guys. You guys can see it a little better. The water is just starting to pour in.
Hear the sound? They better.
It's just steady rising. That was all dry when we were just started this. Now the water is just pouring in. And it just keeps rising. We're gonna stay for the full 8 minutes, y'all. Let me just fast forward. Well, not the full 8 minutes. Let me fast forward it just a little bit. Completely underwater now. That whole area. It went from dry to look at the speed of that water ripping through. This is just one area. This is not Kerr County. As a matter of fact, I think that was above the river. I think that was before it even got to Kerr County. And it was nothing moving. If you seen it, there was a whole bunch of sand down there. It was dry. You got little puddles of water here and there, but nothing major. And then you watch it just kind of come around the bend with all this debris, and it's just flowing in. And it's just gradual at first. And then just within a few minutes, you have white rapid type of water coming in. Did you see that flow? That was a matter of minutes. This video was only 8 minutes long. 8 minutes long. And they're perched up on a mountain looking down. So again, I think it's very important that we study just for our understanding, because even though Rod is over in Ireland, the EU is conducting the same type of testing with weather manipulation. China, I'm not sure if I trust China. China has been manipulating weather and has the research. I found all this out in the last 48 hours. My mind is blown here, folks. Kelly says, I had my kids there, raised them there. My kids were born in the hospital in Kerrville. I can't believe this happened. I can't believe it happened either. Well, natural disasters are natural disasters are natural, you know. This one here is making me question. Are these, you know, North Carolina being hit when it got hit by the category storm it got hit after it had already rolled over the state of Florida and Georgia. Land slows down hurricanes. How did Lithium Alley, and that's what they have under the ground, lithium, very, very much sought out lithium. It powers our cell phones, our computers, everything. Lithium mines in that area of North Carolina right before an election, leaving the people destitute, without communication, without money, without transportation. I'm sorry. You guys can think this is a taboo discussion, but it's not. It's not. I thought it was a taboo discussion up until yesterday. And I have been studying this stuff. I have been looking into this stuff. I have been looking at federal government documents. I'm not talking about Google searches, and I'm not talking about AI either. I'm talking about utilizing AI to get me to the areas that I needed to view the actual legitimate paperwork. But once you look at that paperwork, your mind, it's over. This thing about weather manipulation being sci-fi, conspiracy theory, bullcrap, it's not. That scares the crap out of me because I live in Florida. How many times has our government or some other government tried to injure the people of Florida? Because I've got to ask the question now. Right? I never worried about vaccinations or medical or trusting my doctor until COVID-19, but I had a wake-up call during COVID-19 as well. These children are not going to die in vain if I have anything to do with it. Something happened, and I don't believe this is a natural event or phenomena. It was too quick. It was unrealistic. It was a tidal wave in the middle of frickin' Texas, folks. A tidal wave. Not a flash flood. A tidal wave. Something you only see in the ocean. I have problems. I have problems understanding this. I feel bad for Kerr County because I truly believe that they did make a mistake. I don't think their mistake was intentional. Obviously, I don't think any law enforcement body or any government wants to put any child in harm's way. These are normal people, okay? They run their county like we run our county here. And something like this happened in my community, it would be devastating to us. It would be devastating to our community. It would be devastating to our community leaders. I do not believe our community leaders, the people out here, are not 100% affected by what they're going through right now. So I before people go out, I'm angry too. Okay, I'm angry too. I'm upset that this alert didn't go out. But it doesn't give us the right to be nasty to people for a mistake that did. We're going to have to work through it. But these people are busting. I just wanted the truth. Okay? Was there an alert out? Was there not an alert out? There was not an alert that went out in a timely manner. We have the truth. That's all I wanted. Okay? I'm not here to tear these people apart over a mistake. The mistake cost people their lives. Right now, we need to reunite people and get people so they can rest in peace. and not be left out there, because we here in America don't leave a man, child, or woman behind, or dog for that matter, right? There's a lot of animals out there, a lot of family pets that these people are also having. We're not talking about the pets because people are more important. But you're talking about people that lost everything. I'm not going to sit here on my platform and condemn the people in charge of this. Well, there will be time later to do that. I just wanted transparency. Answer the damn question. Right? That's where I was. Well, we have the question answered. So now we need to continue to search for the victims. We need to continue to support law enforcement and first responders despite this critical mistake, so they can bring these people home to their families. And that's where we are in this conversation when it comes to the Texas floods. Is there blame? There always is because the shoulda, woulda, coulda. Okay. You can plan. I know this because I'm very much plugged in my politics here in my county. You can plan, execute planning, execute those trainings, execute everything perfectly. But when the rubber meets the road, mistakes will happen. Period. We just pray that the mistakes that happen don't cause this. This stuff is fluid. That you're talking about somebody, I'm pretty sure they thought they had time. They didn't realize what they were dealing with here, because what they were dealing with here, in my opinion, was not natural. Under normal and natural circumstances, they probably would have had plenty of time with the 90 minutes. But this particular one, they didn't. So why? This case has enlightened me a lot. And if this was the message that we needed to hear from this tragedy, then maybe this is the message we need to hear from this tragedy. Maybe it's time for us to realize that something else is going on there with our government and other governments across this world, and we need to put an end to it. I think that all weather manipulation should be banned in the entire world. Nobody, and I mean nobody, we do not know what the unintended consequences will be from them screwing around with this 100 years from now. We have no idea what the repercussions of what they've done for the last 75 years will do to our world. This is something I don't play with. Just like body parts, right? I don't play with those either. That's why I don't like and condemn Planned Parenthood. I don't do it. These are some things that I just do not agree with and absolutely will defend relentlessly. Weather manipulation needs to be banned worldwide. Nobody should have that. That is catastrophic as bombs being dropped. You can rip families and communities apart limb by limb without even touching our ground. That is some scary stuff for me. And there is no place for that kind of sci-fi shit in our country or in this world. Somebody is going to get seriously hurt if we haven't already, because we don't know how long this has been going on. And our government has known about this weather manipulation for over 75 years. They've been engaging in it. They've been studying it. And a lot of our treaties prevent it. But yet the American people are so ignorant that we feel like it's a taboo conversation. And here we get a wake-up call over floods in Texas that this stuff is real. I'm pissed. I'm beyond pissed. If this stuff scares you, please pass this video around. Enlighten yourself. Get educated. Don't listen to people like me or mainstream media telling you what you need to know about something like this. It is your responsibility to get informed, and I suggest each and every one of you start doing your research. It might save your life and other lives. But right now, my calling is to ban weather manipulation worldwide. I never want to even have to think that my government did this to a community. I shouldn't even have to even worry about that. But yet here we are. This is serious. I hope you guys take the call. Now, for an update on the Texas flood, as many of you guys know, the bulk of these deaths are in Kerr County. And this is where they failed to notify people in 90 minutes. We had, I want to say, 60% or higher of our death toll is from Kerr County. That's bad. And most of that, the people, the victims in Kerr County were camps. That means young children. That just seems so targeted, right? People are screaming, Trump shorted FEMA, even though North Carolina only got $750 on Biden. Let's talk about it, because I'm tired of not, because this right here is bothering me. So we have those floods out there in North Carolina. Now we have these floods over here. These floods have rocked our world. Now we're hearing about this weather manipulation. And now I have to ask myself, did my government do that? Did my government do that? Did my government do the one that happened in Siesta Key, which injured my area? Did another country do this to our region? I should never have to ask those questions. And here I am asking those. As I look at these beautiful faces behind me and praying to God, I do not find out that this is government sponsored. That a scientific experiment went awry. A classified scientific experiment went awry that lost lives in Kerr County. I don't know if that's, but you know what? For the first time in my life and in my head, it goes from possible to probable. I question Maui. Might have been a test run. Because everything I was learning from AI and everything it was spitting out to me and every document it was sending me to review, one thing that it kept saying is that something like this would be a huge footprint and take years and years to accomplish. Well, then I found out about Operation Popeye all the way in Vietnam, and now you have your footprint and your years and years to establish, don't you? So now everything AI is telling me we can prove has happened. That is a problem. And people knew about this. And people have known about this. They're going to tell us that this was a natural phenomena. And that's what the American people are going to have to force down their throat. But for the first time in my life, I do not believe that this was natural. I really don't. I really don't. All right, guys, rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe. But more importantly, kind to one another. And although we didn't get our goal, and it is a smaller show, I'm going to go ahead and share with you. Oh, hold on. Let me go through these. So we got It's Me, Jen. Thank you. We covered her. Melanie, prayers for the people affected by floods. Thank you so much. The super sticker from Lady for Justice. And look at this. Rod gifted 5 Bullhorn Betty memberships. If you received your Bullhorn Betty membership, don't forget to tell Rod thank you. And for the 5 beautiful new family members, welcome to this crazy family we call the Coffee Club. I.e. the Insane Asylum. Grab your straight jacket and your padded room. Welcome aboard. We are glad you are here. So I am going to continue behind the scenes. Just for you guys to understand, I'm going to continue behind the scenes working on this weather manipulation stuff, because this has now turned to a political advocacy for me. And but we're not going to be talking about it too much here. This is something that I'm going to take offline and take to a different type of platform. But since we have a small show today, I will go ahead and sneak what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Rod. God bless you. Gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership. Gifted a super chat. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate that. So I am going to go ahead and stick and tell you guys, even though we didn't meet our goal, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys what we're doing this weekend. I forgot. my best friend calls me. She's like, I'm going to the beach today. Why don't you come out to the beach with me? I said, what time are you going? She goes, 2. I'm like, I said, I got the Sebastian series going on at 3:30. I said, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I said, and I'll have to work around it over the weekend. I said, but I'll be able to go, thrifting with you on Friday. Well, my friend called me and reminded me this is the weekend for SAS. Well, if you guys know anything about me, I go to SAS every single year, and I didn't realize it was coming to that time. I've already got my ticket, and I'm supposed to be there. It's a political thing. So while we're not going to be talking about politics, even though I'm at a political event, we're going to be running our show in Tampa. So our show is going to be ran live and debuted at Tampa, at the Tampa Convention Center. I forgot all about this. So we will be doing true crime. I'm going to have to find a place kind of off campus so we're not, by all the kids and all the noise and everything like that, to maintain our advocacy for our children. But just know I'm also advocating, and with this weather manipulation, being in front of Don Jr. and the Trump family is just right where I need to be, because this right here is being handed over to them. And I'm going to be asking what the hell, So we'll see how everything goes. But this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will not be here at the house, in the office, or in the studio. We will be out in Tampa, running live in Tampa. We're going to be walking and talking, and it should be pretty interesting, but I'm really excited, and I can't believe I'm about to see all my friends and family, in Tampa. It's the one time a year that I really enjoy. It's close to home. It's not an event I got to go and bust the bank to go to. It's a 3-day event. I can drive there every day, come home and sleep in my own bed every night. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm very fortunate that I get to go to these things, and very fortunate that I get to be around some very, very powerful friends that can help make a difference. And hopefully we can get this in front of them and see what we can find out. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. But this right here has got me kind of, feeling some sort of way, feeling some sort of way. So that's where we'll be. That's what's going on. Tomorrow morning, I'm getting up ridiculously early. I may go live ridiculously early. You guys might be riding with me over to the convention center. I don't know. But if you guys are up ridiculously early, just check the Bullhorn Betty channel. See if I'm live, because I don't know when I'm going to go live. I'm going to go live when I can go live. I'm going to be in between meetings. I'm going to be in between different book signings, stuff like that. I'll be in between everything, but I'm going to try. I'm going to have to ask Vinny. I'll have to ask Vinny when I get there if I can walk up to him before the end, because I always get a picture with Benny Johnson when I'm there. So I'm going to ask him if we can get something from him for all of you, because I want him to say hi to the Bullhorn Betty channel and the coffee club. If we can get Benny Johnson. If we can get Benny Johnson to say hi to Bullhorn Betty and the coffee club, I promise you it would have been a successful event. So we'll see. You guys know my love for Vinny and his family. He's got a beautiful family, a wonderful wife, and just a great, a dear person that I just have high respect for. I have a lot of high respect for. He came from nothing, much like me, and came out here on these social media platforms and started talking his common sense. And next thing you know, millions of people agrees with him. So very, very fortunate. So we'll see what we can come up with. And of course, everything that I take pictures of and videotape, I will definitely share with you Monday and Tuesday for the show. But this is going to pause our advocacy for Sebastian Rogers through the weekend. I can't carry that show. So where we stop today at 3:30 this afternoon is where we'll pick up on the show 3:30 Monday afternoon. Okay. So that's kind of the schedule for the show for the foreseeable weekend and up to Monday. So please just, if you haven't been getting your notifications from Bullhorn Betty, remember periodically you need to go in there and turn those notifications off and then turn the notifications back on. You don't need to unsubscribe and resubscribe. Usually doing the notification to off and then back on usually triggers it. So, and the reason why I tell you not to, because sometimes we put a full day, 24 hours where you can't comment on here on our lives. So if you unsubscribe and resubscribe, well, you just started your time clock. So you're going to come in here tomorrow and not be able to talk, and you're going to think you're blocked. And it's because you subscribed and unsubscribed, it did trigger the notifications again. So just change the notifications to off, refresh, and then go back there and turn them back to on, refresh. It should fix your problem. If it doesn't, reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. But we're going to want to just, get something going on here so you guys are not missing any of my lives, because usually we're on a schedule. We know in the morning we're here. And we know in the afternoon we're sometimes here. So you guys have something to check. When I do go live, the times that I do go live. So this is going to be one where those times they're going to be irrelevant, because if I have to go live at 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going live, getting the information out, and you guys can watch it later. But we're doing that at 7 o'clock. If you guys would like to be in attendance, make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss any live broadcasts. All right, and then we got this. Be kind. Being kind costs nothing. Everyone can afford it. Amen to that. Lisa B. always. So there you guys go. That's the surprise update for you guys. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. Now, we're doing the 3:30 this afternoon, but for all intents and purposes, we're not going to be here for our morning show tomorrow. It's probably going to be, I don't know, I'm thinking it's probably going to be going off at like 7 or 7:30 is probably when I'm going to kick off the live. So there you have it, folks. We'll see you soon. God bless. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.